Hello all, while we continue our discussion on Si917 chipset, it is important to compare it with some of its competitors and get to know what are the differences that exist between the chipsets that are from the other vendors as well. So for this, one of the biggest competitor, if you see, and also the cheapest one available in the market and used by many hobbies and as well as in many commercial industrial applications is the ESP32. So ESP32 chipset is basically again a Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth chipset. So if you see the basic difference between ESP32 and Si917, Si917 as we know has ARM Cortex M4F, which basically is the application processor and it is a single core processor. Whereas ESP32 has Extensile S6, this is a dual core processor. Okay, and if you see the operating the basic clock speeds, okay, the maximum clock speed that can be achieved, that means the operating frequency which is decided by this clock is definitely in ESP32 it is higher. So as this is higher, the DMIPS, which is direct-on million instructions per second, which determines how fast the chip can process your data, as to simply put it, right? It is much higher in ESP32. And the floating point unit, which is again advantage here, in 917, it has floating point operations, and it has a FPU basically as a part of this application processor, and the floating point operations are possible in 917. Now, if you compare the wireless capabilities, Wi-Fi 6 is what Si917 supports along with BLE 5.3. ESP32 supports Wi-Fi plus BLE 4.2. So Wi-Fi is a open. I mean, here it doesn't mention about standard in ESP32, right? Basically, if you see a traditional ESP32 chipset, it supports Wi-Fi 4 and the latest ESP32 C6. So there are several variants in ESP32. Okay, you can look at it, their like website to see what are all the different variants that are there. So ESP32C6 supports Wi-Fi 6, but we are talking about Wi-Fi 4 here. And then the pricing. So this is the biggest winner when we compare these two chipsets. So ESP32 has the lowest cost compared to 917. And support wise, if you see, there is a lot of support available for ESP32, a lot of communities, people use it. If you see, if you search for any particular issue, you can actually get this in the communities outside. Whereas 917, as this is like a few years back into the market, 1 or 2 years, there is lesser community support externally, but there is good support from Silicon Labs. So, and if you see the biggest difference between them, so if you want a Bluetooth classic implementation, this is not supported by the Si917. So, might be this is one of the biggest advantage with ESP32. Overall, if you see cost, performance, and processing capability wise, if you see, ESP32 stands out, but reliability and the brand and especially the other parameters like the interfaces and all, 917 stands out. So it all depends on application what we are targeting. If someone can compromise a little, get a bigger bargain with the price and bigger volumes, 917 also looks a very good competitor for ESP32.